You're listening to The Straight Line on MRN.com, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices, every day. And also brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Big weekend of NHRA drag racing coming your way. Hi, everybody. Welcome to MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Doug Herbert and Ralph Shaheen with you. The NHRA Tour is headed to the Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals at Norwalk this weekend.
Norwalk's always a great place. They love their drag racing up there in Northern Ohio. I'll tell you that for sure. It's a fun track. The Bader family does a great job. It's a family-owned track. They promote it. It's one of those ones you don't want to miss. And the Pro Stock cars and the Pro Stock motorcycles, if you're a fan of them, you got to come back out because guess what? It's weekend for Pro Stock motorcycles and Pro Stock cars.
Who are you kidding? You're looking forward to the ice cream.
Well, that's exactly right. How do you know that? You're picking on me. I had donuts last week, I had ice cream this week. I love going to Norwalk. Yeah, it's a pound of ice cream for $1. Like a pound of ice cream that's a
lot of ice cream.
For $1, that's a good deal. I don't want to pass up a good deal. And, it's so good that you go there and spend $5, you have 5 pounds of ice cream. No, it is fun. And the line, I'm telling you what, the line for the ice cream, though, oh, my gosh. But, you just get one, and then you go back in line, and then by the time you get up there again, it's time for another ice cream.
After a pound, you get back in the line. All right. Well, I thought you were Donut Doug. Maybe it's, I don't know.
I love my ice cream and donuts.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. One of the other things we've been talking a lot about here, even off air, Doug and I, when we're not talking about ice cream and donuts, is manufacturer involvement in not just racing in general, but specifically in drag racing. Right. And one of the most interesting companies involved in it is Toyota right now. I mean, you think about drag racing, naturally Ford, Chevy, and Dodge all come right to the forefront because they're muscle car companies. Right. This is muscle car racing. And you think of Toyota, the Camry, it doesn't have that image like a Camaro or a Charger Challenger or a Mustang. But when you talk to the guys at Toyota, no, they're very serious about their drag racing.
They are very serious about it. And I've been on a tour up here at the Salisbury, North Carolina shop, which is, about, 30 miles north of Charlotte, North Carolina. Andy Graves is going to be with us on today's show. The technology they have up there is incredible. Like I say, it's sprint cars, it's midgets, it's drag racing, it's NASCAR. I remember, when they came into NASCAR back, 10, 15 years ago, it was like, I don't know, is that going to work out for those guys? Obviously, it's worked out, right? They've won championships, they've won races. I mean, they're stout. They love the drag racing. They love the technology. It's a different demographic. It's different people. At the end of the day, they're hoping that involvement in drag racing gets their customers to go to the races and buy a Camry or a Tundra truck or whatever it is, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, you go around, I think the drag racing, it definitely has an effect. I mean, how many Tundra trucks did we see before they got involved in racing? I mean, the racing seems to me like it's brought that level of participation, in the fans that go in and buy trucks,
Yeah.
And you look on the road, there's a lot of Toyota trucks on the road.
Yeah, and look, they're selling a lot of Camrys because of it too. And as you see those Camrys out on the road, the cool factor of a Camry has definitely gone up, right? They've made them look a lot sportier. It's not just a grocery getter like it once might have been an economy car.
Right.
Now it's a little bit hipper, cooler, and more interesting vehicle.
Well, and it's not just a Toyota, it's a Lexus.
That's
some of
right.
those Lexus, those are hot
really
rods.
cool.
I mean, they are really hot rods. So, yeah, definitely TRD is involved in racing, and we're going to hear from the head TRD boss, Andy Graves, on today's show.
Yeah, and one of the other things we'll talk about, too, with Andy is how the Charlotte area, which was, of course, so well known for its NASCAR, but this is where TRD is headquartered in a lot of ways. They have stuff out west, but there's a lot of it right here. And they're doing a lot of that drag racing work at that facility in Salisbury. So it's not just stock car racing around here. A lot of impact on what you see.
Motorsports technology.
Yes, what you're seeing in the drag racing world is coming from right here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there's a reason why the KB Racing team has their Pro Stock headquarters here. Cagnazzi had his headquarters here. There's a lot of motorsports engineering knowledge here in the Charlotte area, right? It used to be Indianapolis, but I think there's probably more engineering stuff here in Charlotte right now than probably any other place in the country, I would guess.
There's wind tunnels here running 24/7, and
right.
it's crazy around here. We're also going to talk with Hector Arana Jr. as we get ready to go to Norwalk. The bikes are going to be getting back out on the track, and we're going to talk about what's happening in Pro Stock Motorcycle.
Yep, Hector Arana Jr. joins us. I've had some fun at Norwalk with Hector Arana Sr. We shared the winner's circle back a few years ago at Norwalk, so looking forward to hearing Hector Arana Jr. on the show, the first Pro Stock Motorcycle rider to break 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good enough right there.
Drag racing and ice cream. What more do you need? Stay with us. It's all coming your way here on the Straight Line.
Looking for quality auto parts for your vehicle? Shop O'Reilly Auto Parts. You'll find convenient locations, thousands of brand name parts in stock, extended store hours, everyday low prices, and well-trained professional parts people. Come see for yourself at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The race to the championship is coming through Phoenix. It's the 2019 NASCAR semifinal race weekend at ISM Raceway. Now it's more personal than ever after a $178 million modernization project that gets you into the infield, into the garages, and even closer to the cars and drivers. The 2019 NASCAR semifinal race weekend at Phoenix's ISM Raceway, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. This time, it's personal. Lock in your seats early at ismraceway.com.
Welcome to the Speed Sport News Center. I'm Derek Prenesiglio.
Suzuki presents Speed Sport.
These are guys that you can take anywhere in the country and they can win on any given night.
Oh, what a great shot. Welcome back here on MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You know, we kind of wanted to get into what's going on with the manufacturers. Where are they at in drag racing? And
Right.
How are they seeing things currently and in the future? So Doug and I thought we'd break out our Rolodex. Yeah, we're that old. We both have a Rolodex. And we dig through and find some business cards, somebody to chat with. And I think we hit on a good one. We wanted to go to one of the guys that really makes the key decisions for what happens with the Toyota racing programs, and that's our old buddy Andy Graves. Andy, how you doing?
Doing good, Ralph. How are you? Hey, Doug.
Hey, Andy, man, thanks for coming up with us this week here.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Okay, so on the screen it says Executive Engineering Technical Director, yada, 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 whatever, TRD. So tell the folks at home that maybe don't know you the way that we do, what exactly you do over there at TRD.
Yeah, so I'm basically in charge of all the engineering functions for all the motorsports programs in North America for Toyota and Lexus. So whether it's NASCAR, USAC midgets, NHRA, IMSA, if it has to do with the chassis, aerodynamics, simulation, the engine, tires, it falls under me.
Andy, over just the last few years, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, Toyota decided that getting into drag racing was a good move. It was something that they wanted to do. Tell us a little bit about why Toyota decided that they wanted to be in drag racing and what are they getting out of drag racing?
Well, it's NHRA and drag racing has been excellent for our company. We at TRD and Toyota, we love it. We found, as we tried to be diverse in North American motorsports, the demographics of the fan base that go to NHRA races is quite a bit different than NASCAR. So it was just a natural fit for us to display the Camry and even some of our technology with the top fuel rails that exposes us to another section of the fan base that don't view or are fans of the NASCAR series.
Toyota doesn't produce an 11,000 horsepower Camry, but
No.
not yet, at least not for sale. You might have one in your garage, knowing you. But how does that marketing work then? Is this more about just exposing the brand? Is it about showing that Toyota is performance driven? How does that all cross over?
Well, it's actually a combination of both of those things, Ralph. There's brand exposure one of our great ambassadors, my buddy Antron Brown, he does a phenomenal job for us, and so he's out there now. Yes, we don't build the engine that goes in his DSR top fuel RAL. We might do a little bit of aero work, a little bit of simulation work, a little bit of tire work for him, but that's getting exposure for Toyota. But then at the same time, we designed here in Salisbury, North Carolina, the body that's on JR's Camry funny car at Coletta's and also Sean Langdon's. And that body, we won the championship last year with JR. So for the guys at TRD to design that body and have it produced to win the championship, I mean, that's great for us. And it exposes a different set of muscles in our engineering base that we don't get, in other areas like IMSA with road racing or NASCAR on the ovals, but it well rounds us out and exposes the technical capabilities of TRD, which hopefully translates to people that want to go to the showroom and consider buying a Toyota, knowing that some of this engineering is what makes up Toyota globally.
Hey, Andy, I was up there. You were gracious enough to take me on a great tour of their facility up here in Salisbury, which is not far from where we are in Concord, Charlotte, North Carolina. The amount of technology that I saw while I was walking through there was like, wow, this is incredible. So the engineering that went into that body, as you said, on the Coletta Motorsport J.R. Todd Nitro Funny car, that won the championship last year, is also, they're the same kind of engineering that goes into the cars that customers are going to the showroom buying. That's really the hookup here.
Absolutely. And that's, maybe the same exact guys here we might not be designing the production parts, but it's our procedures, right, Doug? And it's the process in the wind tunnel and how to process data, how to get the best L/D numbers for fuel mileage on a production car. But the L/D number is also important on the top fuel nitro funny car, where you need the top speed, but you're also looking to get off the line and have that downforce as well. So those are the things, that core procedure and IP that we learn is something that gets embedded in all of our vehicles globally. So it's a really neat program, and NHRA is awesome exposure for Toyota.
Andy, in the current lineup in NHRA, you guys are running the Camry body. Chevy has the Camaro, Ford's running the Mustang, Dodge with the Charger. What are your thoughts about maybe moving into that factory stock program that's out there and maybe utilizing the new Supra that's coming down the line?
Yeah, that's something that has been broached, Ralph. Just briefly, obviously that's a decision for our counterparts at TMNA in Plano, Texas, and our marketing division. And so, how they get exposure and what they want to expose to the public is something that could be a possibility in the future. But right now, the current Camry funny car is great, and we are looking at some updates for the future. We're working on some things that hopefully can come out here in the next couple of years.
Hey, Andy, I see you at a lot of races. We're at the sprint car races, right? Sitting there with Selzy and watching them. I've seen you at the Cup races. I've seen you at the drag races. You get around to a lot of races each year. How many races do you go to, and what's some of your favorite events to attend?
It's I tell people all the time, Doug, and you and I have been buddies for a long time. I absolutely love racing, and I have the perfect job. Having responsibility technically of all these different things, different forms of motorsports, I get to go visit and go to a different. It seems like to go see a different series almost on a weekly basis. But yeah, I mean, from going to, I was just in Indiana Midget Week last week, and going to the Charlotte, World of Outlaw races to go check on those guys. in the future, you never know. We may end up doing a 410 aluminum block at some point. Going to the NASCAR races, IMSA races. I was at Mid-Ohio earlier this year when Lexus got our first win of the year. And I was out at Pomona earlier this year with the drag races. So I'm literally at a racetrack every single weekend, really from the Daytona Rolex 24 hours until Turkey Night. So it's on Thanksgiving. I try to take about a month off there over the winter, but other than that, pretty much at a racetrack somewhere around the world, it seems like.
Yeah, it looked like on social media you had a pretty good trip to Europe too. You've had some fun, buddy. Hey, but this is perfect for you because having known you as long as I have, this is what your family was all about when you were a kid. And watching you move here to Charlotte and being a roommate with Jeff Gordon back in the day when you guys all first moved into town, we all became friends. And, working with Jeff at Hendrick, and here you are basically running all this stuff with TRD. And I know from having talked with David Wilson as well that he dreams of that 410 sprint car motor too. If you had the opportunity to do anything with Toyota, maybe in drag racing, where would you really like to see a challenge for you and your team on the engineering side?
I'll tell you what, it amazes me every single time that I go to the drag races. All the conditions, all the unknowns that all of our guys have to deal with on a weekly basis, and the changing track prep, it's unbelievable. Todd and Jono and Bell and Nikki, the guys at the Colettas, they do an unbelievable job. And every single day we just try to, if there's 20 unknown variables on a weekly basis, TRD tries to figure out how do we go from 20 variables down to 19 and then 18. And so we try to help them the best we can. And it is an unbelievable job. That's for sure.
Andy, I know the guys that talking to over there at Coletta's, John O and Dell and all the guys that you work with over there. I've asked them, I said, what's one of the things that's changed so much in the last few years? I haven't been out there racing full time in a few years. And they said, well, it's the technology, it's the data that we get from the Toyota engineers like Slugger and the people that are out there on the racetrack, feeding them back that data that makes their job tuning the car and running the car so much easier. So the feedback that we're getting, that I get from them just as their friend, TRD is at the top of that list.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Doug. Those guys they're a great bunch, and they've all become super good friends with me. I've got all the respect in the world of all those guys, and it takes, as you well know, in order to have that relationship with an OEM that can provide you help, you have to click, and you have to get along, and you have to have that bond, and that's what TRD has with the Colettas and with Antron's car at DSR. So we're just fortunate that we've got the teams that we do, and to have Antron and Doug, Richie, JR, and Sean line up in Toyotas on a weekly basis is it's great for us.
Andy, just before we let you go, as you said, you guys are involved in so many different forms of racing right now, and man, you can't turn on a midget race and not see a Toyota up near the front. That's just the engine to have there these days. You're just successful in drag racing, successful in IMSA. What of all these programs that you guys are a part of right now, when you hear from your customer base and they're saying, well, I'm in your showroom because of this, which one of those programs, including NASCAR, tends to bring most of the fans to the dealerships these days?
Well, there's no doubt. Even though that we absolutely love the top fuel rails and the midgets, at the end of the day, it's the vehicles that closely represent what you can buy in the showroom. And, when you see a Camry on track in the Cup Series, or a Supra in the Xfinity Series, a Tundra in the Truck Series, the Lexus RCF and IMSA, those vehicles definitely help bring in customers to the showroom. But globally, to round that out with the NHRA program, off-road trucks, USAC midgets, it gives this perception that Toyota cares about racing all in North America. and to have our success the way that it has been the last couple of years instills confidence in the buyers that they're buying a quality product out of the showroom that they see on the racetrack. So that's our goal, and hopefully that we can keep bringing people into the showrooms for consideration.
Well, I would say it's working. And thanks for joining us, Andy. We look forward to seeing you at the races again real soon, buddy.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
All right.
Andy.
Andy Graves from Toyota. We'll be right back with more Straight Line after this.
Have everything you need for your next oil change? Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save on 5 parts of Castrol GTX conventional motor oil and a MicroGuard filter for $24.99. Plus, earn triple O Rewards points. Protect your engine with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away 1 set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our street.
NHRA drag racer Doug Herbert here to talk about safe driving. In early 2008, my 2 sons were killed in a car accident that was caused by speed and inexperience. After the accident, I learned that over 6,000 teenagers each year are killed in car accidents, so I formed a nonprofit organization called Brakes. Brakes stands for Be Responsible and Keep Everyone Safe. Please visit our website at putonthebrakes.org to learn more about responsible driving and what you can do to keep our roads safe.
We are back with MRN's The Straight Line. It's all presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Ralph Shaheen and Doug Herbert with you. And joining us on the line, Hector Arana Jr. Hector, great to have you with us. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to be with you guys.
Hector, tell us a little bit. You're going along pretty good in the points. You're third in points. You guys always have a strong team. That family operation is really doing well. What's your key to success? What do you expect to do, and what do you need to do to get back up to first?
Well, I have to say that, one of our major keys to success is Lucas Oil Products and all of their support. I just want to point out that we've had a partnership with Lucas Oil for 25 years now. This is our 25th year being sponsored and partners with Lucas Oil. And 25 years ago, my father met with Forrest Lucas, and this all started on a handshake deal, and Forrest Lucas said, as we grow as a company, you will grow with us. And, he's held his word, and that's all came true. So I really have to give a big thanks to the whole Lucas Oil family because, they are a big contributor to our success.
Well, I would say you guys have been big contributors to their success as well. You and your father have been great ambassadors for Lucas Oil, for sure. That is one of the longest-running sponsorship packages, I would think, in all of NHRA history, maybe.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's right there. And, another contribution to our success is, like you said, it is a family operation. And, that started all with my father and his passion for drag racing, for the sport, and his passion to succeed. He never gave up. There's, many years before he even won his first Wally. And, Doug, I do believe back in 2007 when my father won his first race in Norwalk, he was on the stage with you.
That's right, he was. Yep, I did. I had a great time on the stage with your dad in Norwalk. That was a great weekend. Well, any race you win is a great one, but that was definitely a very great one. That was a special race to win.
So a lot of so that's just a testament to him never giving up, and then he went on to win a championship 2 years later. So it's just awesome things like that is just what keeps us going, and now we're racing and we're pushing for my first championship, and we're working very strong. We've learned a lot, and we do everything in house, and because of that, we're able to control our own destiny, and that's a big contributor to our success as well.
Well, you were the first to get through that 200-mile-an-hour barrier. What are we looking at for records this year? How are you feeling about the speed?
Yes, we're a little off pace this year as far as speed goes. We're working on some different things in our engine development program. So, we know what to do to get back, to get the speed back. But right now, like I said, we're working on some different things to try to further along the longevity of our program. So that's where we're at when it comes down to the countdown, and we're getting close. We have 4 more races, so if you pay attention, you'll see that the speed should come back, and if not, be faster than what it was last year.
Hector, obviously you guys are full-time involved with drag racing, but one of the things I was kind of very interested to see and read about on you is you have a business degree from Purdue. That's not something that you see every day when you're walking through the pits at an NHRA drag race.
Yes, I do have a business degree from Purdue, and I'm actually I don't live in Indiana and go to the shop every day now. I live in Long Island, New York now. And I work full-time for a company named Curtis Wright, and we're a government contractor, and we manufacture products for the nuclear Navy to support that effort.
You had to pause there for a second. We manufacture.
I don't know if I can tell them about that, right?
Yeah, that was great. Well, one thing I know about is your family's Cubans, and I know a lot about Cubans because my wife's family is Cubans, and so really neat. And I know how hard and dedicated that just that background in your family gives you.
Yeah, definitely have a really strong work ethic. And, just the will to never give up.
Hector, obviously Father's Day just around the time as we look towards Norwalk, and you and your father are getting back to racing together again. What's the one bit of advice that he has given you over the years that maybe stuck with you?
To believe in myself and, I keep saying this again, but believe in myself and to never give up. That's his biggest thing, is to always believe in yourself, work hard, study, practice, the little details like that, and the persistence.
Those are all great things to go with. Hector, thank you so much for joining us. All the best as you continue to chase this championship. You're right there, right behind Andrew and Eddie, and it should be a great fight to the end of the year. All the best.
Thank you very much. Like I said, this Lucas Oil motorcycle team, we're working on, taking out the Harleys and all of our competition. Our goal, and that's everybody's goal, but our goal this year is to end the year with the championship and hopefully 1 and 2 in the points.
Hector Arana Jr. and that Lucas Oil Buell. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. Best of luck the rest of the year, and we'll be right back with more Straight Line.
O'Reilly.
If your paint job is looking less than new, bring back that showroom shine with Formula One Wash and Wax, Paste Wax, or Scratch Out, on sale now for $2.99 each at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Keep your vehicle looking new with Formula One Auto Care products, $2.99 each at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When the racing concludes each weekend, keep up with the non-stop NASCAR news each weekday on NASCAR Today Midday.
The drafting type races I've always excelled in, so that's where I see a tremendous advantage.
I think it was very important for us to get Martin and to get Cole, both of those as a group, because they're very good at what they do.
NASCAR Today Midday, Monday through Friday on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NHRA drag racer Doug Herbert here to talk about safe driving. In early 2008, my 2 sons were killed in a car accident that was caused by speed and inexperience. After the accident, I learned that over 6,000 teenagers each year are killed in car accidents, so I formed a nonprofit organization called Brakes. Brakes stands for Be Responsible and Keep Everyone Safe. Please visit our website at putonthebrakes.org to learn more about responsible driving and what you can do to keep our roads safe.
Time to sell a few tickets here on MRN's The Straight Line presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Welcome back. Ralph Shaheen and Doug Herbert with you. Summit Racing Equipment, NHRA Nationals this weekend. So here's how you go about getting your tickets. Go to NHRA.com. Click on the red ticket tab in that top right corner and just start buying tickets. Go to Norwalk. Go to Epping, New Hampshire, and come on out to Colorado as we kick off that West Coast swing. Hard to believe that's right around the corner.
Unbelievable. Here comes summertime, and here comes the West Coast swing.
Yeah.
But before that, go this weekend. Go check out the races in Norwalk. Go to NHRA.com. Get your tickets. Epping, New Hampshire, for all the Northeast people up there. That's a great place. And get a lobster roll. Don't forget about that. And then Denver, the West Coast swing. We got Seattle, Sonoma. A lot of racing coming up.
Yeah. Get there early. Ice cream will be going fast if Doug gets to the front of the line.
Oh, man.
Are you straight up vanilla guy? Are you a chocolate guy? Or what do you?
No, I like vanilla. I like chocolate, but I like stuff, like mint chip, caramel.
Rocky Road.
Yeah, they have like moose tracks or something,
Yeah.
like stuff, Yeah, Rocky Road, all that kind of stuff.
You
That's
need-
what Mimi tells me. You're smooth like Rocky Road ice cream. I tell her I'm smooth, and she goes, "Yeah, you're smooth like Rocky Road ice cream." What?
Yeah.
That's not very smooth. Duh.
You need your own. We need to get a hold of Bill Bader and see if we can't get a Doug Herbert ice cream
Right.
at Norwalk.
Exactly. Yeah, I've won the race at Norwalk a bunch of times. That's a
You got a
great thing.
grandstand at Bristol. You should have
Right.
ice cream in Norwalk.
Right. I'll never actually
The
forget that.
Dougzilla ice cream.
The Dougzilla cone. That would be cool. And actually, funny that you said that. One year we were racing at Norwalk, and they were supposed to line you up by points. I was leading points. Well, they put Big Daddy Don Garlitz at the front spot, and Bill Bader Sr. came over and he said, "Hey Doug, I hope you're not mad at me. We parked, Big Daddy there." And I go, "No, I'm not mad at you." And he goes, "Well, we've got Big Daddy grandstand." I go, "No, I'm fine with that. I hope that one day you park me on the end and then you have a grandstand of mine." So now, yeah, we do. We got to bust Bill Bader about we need a grandstand.
And Dougzilla ice cream.
And maybe more importantly, the ice cream.
Yeah. I think if you're going, you got a grandstand already. Get some ice cream.
need ice cream.
Round out the whole program. Time now for red light, green light too. And unfortunately, it's just red light this week. I don't know if you caught wind of this, but the Hot Rod Power Tour rolled through Charlotte, and 5 cars stolen at a hotel parking lots in and around the area where the Power Tour guys are overnighting while they were here in the Charlotte area.
That's just something. I mean, 5 cars. How do you pull that off? I don't understand. You got to think that it's got to be probably somebody involved. I mean, the Power Tour goes, basically all around the East Coast. That's amazing, but that is definitely a red light. I hope they find those guys. They need to get the cars back and the parts back to the.
And look, those are very unusual vehicles too, right? It's not like
you're not stealing a car and taking it to a hack shop and chopping it up and selling.
No, because those cars are all. I mean, they're very unique, right? Very specialized, very unique. Really hate it for those competitors. I sure hope it doesn't put a bad name to the Power Tour and a bad experience that carries over
to Charlotte, to Concord,
and to Charlotte as well, because obviously it's a automotive car motorsports loving area here that we're both very proud of, and we sure feel bad that those folks
hope
had
they
a tough
find their
time.
cars. Hope they get them back.
We sure do. All right, for Doug Herbert, the Dougzilla ice cream cone guy over there, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Enjoy the races in Norwalk. We'll see you soon here on MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.